How can this humble bunmaster assist you today?
Why did you marry your wife if she's so difficult?
Like many things in my life, it can be traced back to very bad luck on my part. As I mentioned once before, I was a master of the drunken master style. I was the tournament champion in Phoenix Gate when things spun out of control. My need for wine took its toll on my body. There are long periods I don't even remember. After one such period, I came to, having lost most of my clothes and all my money. I was destitute, and without the ability to buy more wine, I couldn't even fight.
What did you do?
Eventually, I found work cleaning out creature cages at the local arena. One day, I was approached by a man who remembered seeing me fight. He offered to sponsor me. Just like that, I was back in the ring. After climbing my way back to the top of the tournament, my sponsor told me it was time to fulfill my end of the bargain.
So what was it you had to do?
Apparently, the agreement stipulated that I must marry his niece. If only I had read the agreement more closely, I could still be shoveling dirt in the creature cages. Alas, fate had a crueler path in mind for me. Let that be a lesson for you. Always read the fine print, or you may end up with more than you bargained for.
Why did you become a bun master if you were a master fighter?
You're beginning to sound like my wife. Where were you last night? Why were you talking to that woman? Why do you smell like a goat? Always with the questions. As I mentioned earlier, after becoming tournament champion for the second time, I was forced to marry my sponsor's nubile niece. She is the reason I no longer fight. My disapproving dove did not care for my drinking, or for my friends, or my fighting, or my friends fighting. She believed I should settle down, be more respectable. At first I ignored her rebukes and continued fighting, but I soon learned that she was not a woman to be crossed. Prior to one fight, my duplicitous Daisy drugged my wine. I don't remember much of what happened next, which is fortunate. From what I hear, it wasn't very pretty.
She drugged you? Oh my god. He's not whipped. That's not being whipped. That's assault.
I spent the next several months under the tender ministrations of my doting wife. Needless to say, when I was well enough to walk again, I was more than happy to settle down. As to why I became a bun master, well, it's a hard, thankless job that keeps me very, very busy. Very busy. As you say, I will be here scrubbing your pots until you call upon me again.
Right. Right. Did these people have some more cheerful-based conversations?
Always happy to help. What do you need?
Sky's a cheerful guy. What's on your mind?
Dawnstar has been telling me about Two Rivers, the Swamp, and Gao the Lesser. I was sorry to hear about your town and your friends. It brought a question to mind.
Ask away.
There's something I've been meaning to ask you. Why? Seriously, why are you doing this? Details aside, you're fighting the Empire as a whole when you oppose the Lotus Assassins, Death's Hand, or the Emperor's will. I know all about your village and your master, and that explains some of it. What it doesn't explain is your drive, your strength. What gives you that?
Well, for one thing, I've lost my home. I don't have anywhere to be. So, this gives me purpose. But mainly, people are suffering. And I can do something about it.
I wonder if fate cast this burden upon you, or if you rose up on your own to shoulder it. History will probably decide. I know you're going to follow Silk Fox's plans to find a way into the Assassin's Den. It won't be easy, but I'm confident we'll succeed.
Thank you for your positivity.
It's what happens after you find a way in that has me worried.
Yeah, well, we'll deal with that when we come to it. I can look after myself.
I know, but never in their lair, never in that place. I knew men and women who were drawn to the Lotus Assassins. They went into that place to prove themselves, as you intend to. And the few who made it back out were different.
Different how?
They acted like they didn't know us, or just didn't care if we lived or died. It's hard to say if there's even a difference to the Lotus Assassins. I know you'll be fine. The Assassins will be lucky if you don't bring the place down around their ears. Just be sure not to tip your hand before you're ready. That's all in the future, though. We should keep at what we're doing. There's a lot left to tackle before we're done.
Let's focus on the task at hand. Later.
Of course. I'll be here if you need anything.
And then it's just you. I think I can speak to Kang. That's probably a flyer mission.
What? What do you want? Too much talking and thinking can be dangerous, I should know. I remember one cold winter I took a job clearing rats from a local monastery. I was supposed to make sure the pests stayed out of the sacred pools, but hunting rats one at a time is boring work. So I had an idea, a way to catch them all at once. I convinced the monks to give me some of their sacred wine, and I filled the sacred pools. I figured if I could get the rats drunk, they'd be so much easier to catch.
Let me guess, all of the monks ended up dead somehow.
Nothing happened at first, so I helped myself to the wine. I passed out before the rats came. In the middle of the night, I was woken up by screaming monks and fiery explosions.
The rats exploded.
The monks wanted me gone. I might have deserved the blame, but the abbot insisted it was a sign from the gods and closed the monastery. See what happens when you think too much?
A happy ending as usual. That is by far the most stupid thing I've ever heard.
Whatever.
Okay. Right, let's do this.
Well, well, is the Imperial City all you expected? It is quite a spectacle compared to the bulk of the Empire. The marvelous dragonfly performed perfectly, of course.
Of course. Let's talk about you and what your wind map revealed.
I've given some thought to the strange device that I was inspired to construct. I'm not sure what purpose it has yet, but it appears to be working, I think. Just a few tweaks. Tight fit. Not sure how that will affect things. What's it? I don't remember seeing that before. Just get this last. There we go. It's ready. Now we can finally find out just what it does. After I name it, of course. Nothing works right until you name it. How about the confoundable minutia?
I have no idea what that means, but just activate it. Okay.
What? No, impossible. I fixed it. I checked everything. It should work. Unless... No, I did that.
Whoa!
Oh. Where'd the city go? Well, that was anticlimactic. A flash of light, but no resounding boom. What good is such a light if Earth doesn't meet sky?
We didn't even have to do a flyer mission. Looks like we're in heaven.
What? Oh my. It seems we have transported to a heaven. A strangely familiar one for some reason, but I don't recall ever moving to such a place before.
Where have you brought us, Kang? We don't have time for such games. Get us back to the Imperial City, now!
I didn't know you were with me as well. Let's just have a look around.
Good idea. Something about this place makes me want to explore too. I am compelled to step this way. There are gears here that I remember.
Kang, return at once! Kang! Ugh, let's go find him.
Chill out. We'll get back. Gears. Lots of gears. Metal Gear! Metal Gear. So this is Lord Lau's for
Look at this. It's a marvel. A wonder of monumental proportions. A phenomenal piece of unbelievable craftsmanship.
Unbelievable. What does it do?
I haven't the slightest idea. But it must be important, wouldn't you think? I mean, just look at it. These machines, they are manipulators, fabricators. They bully energy into something. They can be activated, deactivated, on and off and on. You see?
But what is it?
I can only come to one conclusion. Lord Lau's furnace.
Hey.
Lord Lao, he's a story for children, like how he created the air bladders that lifted the palace until the stones forgot they belonged to the earth.
Oh yeah, the palace floats, by the way.
Legendary, mythical, and overrated in some respects. But if anyone else has a better origin for such machines as this, I'm not hearing it.
Who is Lord Lao?
Artificer to the celestial bureaucracy, he creates machines that themselves also create. Although I'd make them a little less delicate had I his resources. Still, he is an inspirational figure for inventors, and we are in his playhouse. You select the machines you want to activate, and then the tiger or the dragon button, like this.
Here we go again.
Don't worry. The individual machines are not activated. I think the switches must be thrown on at least 2 of the components before it will do whatever it does. You also have to select a fuel. It looks like there are a few pieces of cinnabar in the contraption, but it may accept others as well.
Do you think it's wise to play with it?
Well, judging by the pile of ashes I found near the controls, if you do it wrong, it either creates a nice warm fire or burns the person standing here to a crisp.
Lovely.
It looks like a powerful thing, so just guessing at the possible configurations will probably get you into trouble and waste the cinnabar in the machine. So, you might want to be careful how you go about it. Things like this usually have directions. No, recipes. No, that's not it. Configurations. That's it.
We do have some configurations. Okay.
I won't stop you, but you really should look for something that lists which configurations are good. Who knows what you will get with random settings?
Now, I'm not really gonna mess around with this. I've never really messed around with this. I haven't cared that much. I think if you check here, you can see the configurations that you have. Oh no, it's just the Celestial Audio Volume 3. Oh. I don't know where you view configurations. A fuel hopper, I guess that's where you put the fuel in. That would make sense. That resets. I'm not sure exactly what you can make here. That's the dragon button. This is the tiger button. Let me see. Can I view configurations anywhere? I just don't really know where they are. Plot items? Ah. Configuration of the horse, the dragon, and the snake. And I guess that tells you what you need? Not very clearly, though, if it does. You have to figure it out, I presume. Unless there is a place that you can view it. Regardless, I'm not gonna do it. It's not a quest. So it's not a big deal, but here it is. Here it is. And you can mess around with it if you want to.
A most intriguing place.
Let's go back.
Very well. In the meantime, I will try to see if I can learn anything more about this interesting machine. I can always bring us back here later.
Sure. Right, nice. That's everyone spoken to. This guy is here now.
I can't sell upgrades if I can't find supplies. I'm ruined. Finished.
This is a quest, but it's a flyer quest. You have to do flyer, well, at least one flyer mission. I've never got further than the one. You might have to do more. I've decided I'm not going to do it. It's not easy either. It's not just the flyer minigame that I don't like in the first place. It's difficult enough that I've never completed it before, even on the easiest difficulty. So, I'm just going to leave it. Something worth knowing, if you do it, and you fail, this guy will disappear. You will fail the quest. And just a book stand will appear telling you that he's been arrested because of his debts. So save beforehand. Definitely save. Let's just move on. There is a quest over here. There's also the Black Leopard School, which I haven't done yet. I'll do that afterwards. This guy.
Why would the governor want to accuse you of doing this, Sung Tao?
Chandlerling. Song Tao. Chandlerling. That's a Friends joke, isn't it? Chandler Bing? Chandlerling? I see you.
Good day, sir. Are you the new investigator I sent for?
No.
No, I can tell from your attire that you're not from the ministry. Oh, this is terrible. Everyone I send for disappears. There are powers at work here that are beyond my means to control.
What seems to be the problem?
I'm sorry, I'm not being very clear. Lately, I've just been so frustrated. I am Prefect Jitong. It is my duty to ensure that convicted criminals in the city are sentenced appropriately. But there are complications with my current trial.
Alright.
I have in my custody a suspected slave trader, Chandler Ling. But one of the high-ranking ministers is trying to get him released, and he wants me to convict another man.
Slave traders.
The man they want to accuse, Scholar Sun Tao, is a friend of mine, and I'm certain of his innocence. I need you to find proof so I can present it to the Minister of Justice.
And you want me to find it because I'm not biased, I presume? I can't stand to see an innocent man accused.
Really? You will help me? Thank you. Thank you so very much. I need to find proof that Ling is the guilty one, and by so doing, exonerate Song Tao. If I can't prove Ling's guilt, I'll be forced to sentence Song Tao to death. But every time I ask someone to discover the truth, they disappear or turn up dead.
To death, bro.
Our best lead is Zibao, the last person known to have spoken with Ling before his arrest. But Bao knows me and my men. He won't talk to us.
And where is Zibao? Well, he's in the arena. I know he's in the arena. Tell me about Chandler Ling.
Chandler Ling is a well-respected businessman and merchant here in the city. Until recently, I had no reason to suspect him of any wrongdoing. When I investigated Ling's shop, I found a valuable knife that I had purposely entrusted to one of my men, a man who has since disappeared. Chandler Ling had a knife belonging to a man whose body couldn't be found. That was all the evidence I required.
Very suspicious. Very incriminating. Tell me about Scholar Song Tao.
I've known Scholar Song Tao for several years. His uncle and my father were good friends. I only wish I knew why the governor wants him accused of this crime. If you want to know more about Song Tao, you should speak with him yourself.
Okay. What is Zibao's connection?
I have no idea. The two men were seen together before we arrested Ling, but I have no other information about Zibao. He spends most of his time in the heart of the Empire Tavern, and he doesn't seem to have dealings with anyone else besides Chandler Ling. I know if I went to speak with him, I would get nowhere, but you could speak to him without raising suspicion.
You know you would get nowhere. So, you haven't tried, and you're not even going to try? Alright.
I wish there was something concrete I could tell you. They're like a whisper on the wind or a shifting shadow. You think you see something, and then there's nothing. Whoever is behind the slavers must have a great deal of power. To remain that invisible is a hard thing to do.
Okay.
Good. Look for him in the heart of the Empire Tavern. It's upstairs at the Imperial Arena. Don't scare him away. If we lose him, we lose our last connection to Ling.
Do we have time to deal with this? I didn't agree to join you so we could solve everyone else's problems.
Patience. Patience, please. I suppose if Prefect Jitong went, he could scare this guy off, which would destroy our one lead, so fair enough. Chandler Ling.
I don't know why you're wasting your time. I'm obviously innocent, and yet you still want to risk yourself needlessly.
I'm obviously innocent. Oh. Why are you so sure I'll be at risk?
I'm no fool. Those men haven't returned, and I can assure you it isn't because they've decided to take a holiday. Chasing after criminals is dangerous work. Obviously, there are risks involved. Why would you risk yourself when even the local minister seems content with the scholar's arrest?
How did you acquire those items belonging to Jitong's men?
In a given day, I meet with several buyers and probably twice as many sellers. There are always more sellers than buyers. My job is to determine whether something is worth buying, not whether the seller is worth buying from. If I see a bargain, I don't care who the seller is. Suffice to say, those items could be from any number of sellers. I don't recall who sold them to me, but that certainly doesn't make me guilty of slave trading.
What do you know about Scholar Songtao?
I can honestly say I had never met or heard of the man until he was arrested.
Well, nice
He's
lazy
obviously
eye.
not wealthy enough to be one of my clients.
Ooh.
Apparently, he spends a good deal of time with the poorer folk in the city. No doubt that's why he is under suspicion. Doesn't strike you as a bit odd? A scholar with all the benefits that position entails, choosing to spend time with the poor people. It does seem a little suspicious.
Well, that does seem a little snobbish, so... bleh.
Of course, do what you need to. If you discover anything, it will only prove my innocence further. Good luck.
Oh, I'm sure the incriminating evidence that we find will prove your innocence.
So you think you can free me? Prefect Jitong has sent many good men to their deaths trying to free me. I hope you won't get into similar trouble.
Of course I won't. Why were you arrested? What were you doing?
I don't know. I was just down in the poor quarters helping a family with some repairs on their hut. I was leaving their house when the guards came for me. They told me I was suspected of abducting people from the poor quarters. I told them it was ridiculous, that I only wanted to help the poor, but they didn't listen. I admit I spend time in the poor quarters, but I don't try to hide it. I'm there several times a week, in fact, usually in plain sight of everyone.
Okay.
I understand. If there's anything that might help you find the slave traders, I will gladly tell you. Please, don't give up until you've found them.
There's not really much point in talking to either of those, to be perfectly honest, except for extra flavour. Let's just go to the tavern. Do you want to speak to me again? Do you? Let's get all close and personal.
You must go to the Lotus Assassin Fortress like we agreed. Find the evidence against Death's Hand, and I will help you rescue Master Li. I'm not sure we have the time. There are too many important matters at stake. We need to make progress before I will feel comfortable spending more time on idle chatter.
Okay.
Do not...
She doesn't really have anything more to say. That's cool. Zibao is who we need. He's through this way. Here he is.
What do you want? Do I know you?
No, but I know you, Zibao.
Really? Lots of people know me, so what? I'm a little busy right now. I've got a bowl of wine that needs drinking, so why don't you just find someone else to bother?
Ling told me you'd take me to see the slave traders.
Who? I don't know anybody by that name, and I don't know anything about slave traders. Leave me alone. I have nothing to say to you, so why don't you just keep moving?
Where's the persuade option? There they are. We have to pay money. How about 1,000 silver?
Yes, that is. More than I'd see in a month. I might be able to take you there. You'll have to pay me now, and I'm not promising you won't get killed once we get there.
Deal.
It's your life, friend. No refunds either. Follow me.
Zibao, what is the meaning of this? Summoning me to this place was bad enough. You know I can't stand the stench of these beasts. I've already dealt with the last shipment of slaves, and with that damned prefect poking into our affairs, we have to be extra cautious. Now, there's an unknown quantity in this little meeting. Just who are you?
I'm a potential buyer. I'm interested in your little business arrangement.
In the slave market, are you? Funny how I find that a bit suspicious, especially given that we've had run-ins with several of Prefect Shitong's investigators.
Has he got keys in his hat?
Zibao was a fool to bring anyone here. We can't afford anyone nosing into our affairs right now, and you've heard too much. Get him, boys, but don't kill him. We'll get quite a bit of silver for this one.
This one. This one's worth more silver than you can imagine. This one's face name is Furious Ming. Wait. Stop poking me. Fine. Come out here and fight me. Come out here. Come on, take the baits. Yeah. Yes. Oh, I can't harmonic combo them. Interesting. Longsword. Oh, the best. And
This has gone far enough. You're far better than the last dog who dared cross us. Maybe I was hasty in my decision to attack you. I have an eye for raw talent. That helps when picking slaves, but it comes in handy in sizing up potential allies.
you have an eye that goes up into your head as
Who
well.
are you? And why are you here? You're clearly too skilled to be one of the fools hired by Prefect Shitong. So what business or grudge do you have with us?
Why are the eyes doing this? Shitong asked me to help him free Song Tao. That led me to you.
You are with Shitong. Unless he was dipped in silver recently, there's no way he could afford a warrior of your skill. Not on government pay.
I'm not doing it for the money.
You're better than that. You've just shown me your strength. Any poor wretch who had the discipline to fight like you wouldn't let themselves be enslaved.
Someone like you deserves to work
What's with his
me,
torso?
not oppose me. I have a friend who could use your help, and I'm prepared to pay for it.
That's just not natural. That's weird. I have a slaver to kill.
If only I had a silver coin for every time I've heard that. Come then. Let's end it.
What are you gonna do? Fight me with your keys? Scare me off with your lazy eye?
This is the end. The Storm Dragon.
Come at me. Oh god. Oh, you have Storm Dragon as well. Slaver documents. Got 'em. Got 'em. We're down here in the creature pens. Oh! Oh! It's that guy's corpse that got eaten by the cannibals. I forget his name. That's a nice touch. I'm impressed.